one of these days I'm gonna be so good. I'm like, you guys gonna want me on your tracks, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show up on your tracks, and I'm gonna do the stereotypical rapper thing. I'm gonna just show up. I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna leave, and I don't gotta mix it. I don't gotta master it. I'm gonna be so good. You guys gonna want me, and then I could be that guy. I'd be like, man, like I don't gotta do shit. I just show up. I just rap and leave. Because like from the outside looking in, I'm not saying rappers don't work hard. I'm just saying it just look like sometimes they just show up, rap and leave.
Wait.
They might rap a lot, but I mean like still like because like maybe they might do 10 songs, but it just be looking like big hangout sessions, and I'm like, I want to be that guy because he looks happy. The mixing engineer, I'm not saying he's not happy, but he look like he working. You know? like, podcast and stuff. We just started. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, man.
What you want to talk about?
Damn, he's ready. He's like, what you want to talk about? I'm like, how about who am I here with today?
Michael?
Raise your hands. Dead mouse. He's like, raise your weapon.
Hi. I do stuff.
Who is Michael? Yeah. That's it. That's the end.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know.
That's all you need to know about
what
him.
am I supposed to say, man? I'm a programmer. I do that. I like programming and solving puzzles. And I hate mosquitoes.
Oh, shit. That's why we picked the perfect environment. All right. Who's next to Michael?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm Milton. From the EP town, El Paso, Texas. El Paso, Chihuahua. Musician, programmer. Yeah. Beer drinker.
Oh, that's definitely true.
First time podcaster.
First time for everything, man. Damn, man, y'all come with the shorts. This is gonna be one of those.
No. Once we get into the topics, we will go out. But the introduction thing, I'm just.
Damn, you normally. The life shit is enough right there, but y'all were just like programmer.
I was like,
Yeah. That was it. All right, man. Mike. Can't take none of this shit seriously. Yeah.
Is he blushing yet?
I'm gonna just start with some random shit because once we get talking, it's easy. But I guess y'all need some. Everybody here does music. Why do you guys like music?
Space.
Just kidding.
There is space in music.
I don't know, man. It's fun. It's something you get to do for yourself, I guess. At least that's why I like it. It's not so much about being recognized or having people really be like, you're amazing. I love everything you did. It's like, no. Most of the time for me now, it's just do my work, do my thing, and a lot of my own personal time is just spent at home. Messing with music, making weird stuff, spamming you guys later to be like, yo, what do you think about this?
Do you think if you still lived here, you would spend as much time making music?
Probably. I mean, it wouldn't change much because whether I go out or I'm trying to actually do something with it doesn't matter because for the most part, I've gotten to the point in my life where I just make things that I think are cool. And I show people that are my friends, even if I think they won't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they feel about that, though.
Why you like music?
Well, I feel like you got to kind of split it in kind of different categories because you have music, that you would say play for yourself, music that you would play for others, whether it's friends, family, whoever. So for me, yeah, I enjoy playing music by myself and whatnot, but there's like connection-wise and just creativity-wise and collaboration-wise when you're playing with other musicians wherever they're from. And Austin's a great place because you have musicians from all over the world with different backgrounds. So the kind of creative engine that can spontaneously come up, say during improvisation, I feel like nothing is comparable with any other thing than music, because there is no essential barrier of language or culture. You know, you could travel around the world and there's always going to be someone making a beat or singing or
Universal
playing whatever.
language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So being able to use that as a means to connect with other people and learn different kind of music styles and just everything that is involved in music, which is, you could say, infinite, I guess. So
It's pretty true. I forgot about the parts where I actually do collaborations occasionally with people in different parts of the U.S. or friends trying to connect me with some other people that they know and make music. Like, hey, I got a friend over in the U.K. or whatever. I think you guys should talk to each other, make some music and things like that. So it's always interesting. It's not as real time where you're actually like jamming with each other in the moment, but it's still pretty interesting when you can just share an idea with someone and you give them all these pieces of something that you've been working on, and then it comes back, and it's pretty exciting to hear what they do with it a lot of times.
I might finally take you up on one.
I've been trying to get you to with me occasionally.
Well, because I became this guy. I became the video guy, and it just, music wasn't priority no more. Like, a lot of people don't even know I used to do music, that I started in that. So like
I mean, it's not something, you know, where it's like, oh man, I need to have this finished for the show that I'm gonna play or whatever. It's like, just do it, man, for fun, for ourselves.
but yeah, I just never made time because my queue was always endless. So I'm trying to wrap that down.
All right.
So, but I think, like I said, July is supposed to be the comeback month, and it is July. So we're gonna see if all that shit I was talking is real or not.
Well, let's make some music then.
One track. Release one track a week. That's the goal. So
To me, that sounds ambitious. I know some people are like, oh yeah, it's not hard to just make a song a week or a track a week. It sounds like a lot to me.
it's ambitious for me because I've kind of never done that with music. I've only done that with these things, with the videos and like beyond one track, you know, or beyond one podcast or something. I've done bunches of shit, but I'm like, supposedly this was my original passion, so like I should. The fuck, like I never tried, you know, like I never tried with that thing, you know.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying. But that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if getting back into Ableton and using it as not an audio editor, but using it as like, to make music. I wouldn't be surprised if the first couple are like rough, in the sense like, oh yeah, how you make music again?
I mean, that's fine. I hadn't made any music with those tools in like 3 years until recently. And I remember I was talking to you and everyone else on Discord that one night, and I deleted everything I had done from like 2000, what?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
9 to 17.
That I don't like. I feel like that, even though, see, unlike a lot of us who got contaminated with the idea of making it, like, yeah, somehow you still do something like that, and that's I feel like something that those people would do.
I don't know, man. It was
Like,
just kind of
deleting your shit. You didn't have to finish, but I like having like.
It's no more baggage, man. It's just all gone. No more thinking about it. No people telling you to finish anymore, because now you're just like, it's all gone.
Well, in that case, you should just like delete everything, like every month, like time the house clean. Every month. That way you live in the process of making music, but you don't have to ever worry about us beating you up about not finishing it.
True. I have finished like 5 or 6 tracks this year so far.
Yeah,
though,
no. Shout out to Prog 3. Shout out to Drone. Dinosaurs. Do I remember? I don't know if I remember the titles of anything else.
They're nonsense, anyways.
Yeah. But those are good ones. Prog 3 is hard, man. You gotta hear Prog 3 if you haven't. Yeah.
he's probably sent it to me.
Probably.
Drone
He's one of the
is
people
pretty cool.
I send my music to also. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's fun. It's good for your soul.
I hope so, man. I hope so. But like, I hope so for me. But at the same time, like I found other ways to cheat. Cause like I said, I think over the course of me not making music, I became I don't want to say fake rapper, cause that whole story we tell ourselves shit. But yeah, I became a rapper, cause that ended up being the thing I practiced without having to actually open up Ableton.
I mean, what's real? What makes you a real anything in that space?
I guess it's just me, like, that was never even on the list to do vocals or nothing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, like, once the group stopped, I was like, I really want songs. I don't want not songs. You know, I don't want beats no more. That shit's, you know, like, especially since I'm surrounded like by that. It's one thing like you more into the 4 and the floor, and that's like more traditional. But I'm just surrounded by the beat scene. I'm like, nah, man, I want songs. You know, like
A lot of the stuff I've been into lately is still pretty much 4 to the floor. I guess a little more breaks. Like, it's funny. It has a lot of elements in the 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
like hip hop from that era, which is kind of
True
know, man, it's
original
interesting.
hip hop.
true original hip hop.
what
Yeah,
is
from
what
the
is
80s.
true original hip hop?
Don't ask me that question.
You brought it up. You can't bring us there.
You're right. You're right. I don't know. I mean, you know, you have
You good?
like obviously music evolves, and music is subjective, so there is no such thing as the best or the worst. You know,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if there's
yeah.
some crappy song.
With a lot of art, yeah.
Yeah. Original hip hop. Maybe what I'm trying to say is before, maybe it was a big part of it then, but before the music industry just kind of saturated the shit out of it and just made it like.
Before it
how would
was
you put it?
commercial-ish.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
Less
any,
commercial.
any genre that has its roots somewhere, and
Well,
then
anything.
someone realizes like, hey, what's going on over here? I can make a bunch of money off of
Yeah,
this.
anything. I mean, like, a part of me, you know, as I sit with the programmers here, like, a part of me, it's both the double-edged sword, the good and the bad of the ability that anyone can do anything now, you know? Because of the simplification, or sometimes, you know, I jokingly call it the dumbification of everything, you know? Like, so, like...
It's not so much that. It's like we're just kind of enabled now where, you know, with music, back in the day, you needed connections or a lot of money.
I'm not even
and
talking
the
about
space
making
for
it.
that.
I'm just talking about the fact that, like, the making of the actual music itself. I'm keeping it
okay.
there. I'm not even talking about making it as an artist or whatever.
No, I was talking
Yeah.
about the actual making it.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, say 80s, let's go 80s, before 90s, before computers were even powerful enough, really, to do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You needed a big room with the console and everything you needed to record it. And
But that's what I'm saying. Like, because you don't need any of that stuff.
Yes,
And
yes.
it became simple for everybody
Mhm.
to do it.
And that's why I was saying enabled.
Yeah.
Now everyone can do it,
Yeah.
whereas back then they could not.
And that's how you get today's hip hop ish.
but then you can really argue that a lot of music unfortunately is skewed because unfortunately we have to make a living. So to some extent you have to kind of, I don't want to use the word sellout, but you kind of have to curb what you really feel are these ideas that you have in your head, because it might not, you know, make money. I mean, if we're going to put the money aspect of it, because
Yeah.
it's tough these days. Saturated markets, you got the internet. I feel like it's common to not see people that are really being true with their music, because you kind of have to go for,
It's a job.
it's a job.
You're treating it as a job at this point. It's not so
Yeah.
much about doing, like, there's a
And-
piece of you in it, but you still have to curate your work or art or whatever, you know, so that people will buy it.
But yeah.
I feel like that's how
So-
most things are.
What's that?
It's almost there. Good enough.
But nah, continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because we're all musicians here, and I imagine y'all also have musicians that play instruments or DJs, you know, all of the above.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've also seen, you know, past 10 years or whatever years, the different paths that our musician friends have taken, maybe to kind of follow what's popular. You know, and
We
that's
all
not,
make
that's
trap
not, it's
now.
not good or it's not good or bad or
I'm not there
anything. It's not good or bad or anything, but it's just obviously part of what is kind of necessary today with the internet, the saturation of music, and I don't know.
That's what they say about professional musicians, though, right? Like, you don't show up waiting for inspiration, you show up to work.
Yeah, like there's composers. It's usually composers, I feel like, who have this mindset. But you know, like, damn, his name escapes me. Like, but yeah, you know, like a lot of them, they'll wake up like 8 a.m. or something. I'm like, yo, I'm making something, you know. Even if it's caca that's never coming out, you know, because they're not on that Nether Friends tip, but like they're just always working so that when it does come, they ready, you know.
Yep.
And I'm expecting that if to maintain the one track release, I'm expecting that too. Like, they're not all gonna be gems, but it will make me better long term. The same way, like, now I could kind of rap like a rap now, because I said, if I look at those Facebook memory things that happen and I see like the ones from like the beginning, it's like you know. Like,
Yeah.
but I did it every day, and now I can do like way more complicated shit, you know.
I don't have those anymore because I deleted them all.
Good. Like, yeah.
Nah, it's
The only thing that remains of classic MikeP are those 18 songs or whatever I have.
yeah, the ones that you have.
Monkey?
That's gone. It's gone forever. I
Oh, is that
remember
a
it a
track?
little bit. That was a good one. It was when I was like first starting to make music. It was hilarious, and I think we were all still in college at the time. Yeah, literally, we were all still in college, and I was at his kind of like
Co-op.
a dorm, Pearl Street Co-op, and he was working on some homework or something, and I was sitting there on the laptop, like just messing around with sounds and music.
I think he just asked me, was like, hey, say something. I was like, monkey.
And that turned into a pretty hilarious song. I wish I could show you now, but I can't. 'Cause I deleted all
This
of
is
it.
why you should save everything, dude.
That's how much he cares.
I
He's just
know.
like,
It's just a
whatever.
memory now.
I guess that's one way to look at it too. You had to be there.
Mhm.
It's John Cage, right? Or that's his name, right? John Cage, the guy who made the 4-minute
The
silence.
arranged piano and all of that stuff.
Yeah, prepared piano.
Prepared piano.
You got to be there for every 4-minute performance, because every time the song is different.
Unless you get the recording.
Yeah, but you need to record each performance
I'm
because each
kidding.
song is different.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I know.
you had to be there. You had to be there. So yeah, man. Programming.
John Cage.
How do y'all come to it?
I love it, man. I love solving problems and puzzles, and I am the
I should ask a better question. Am I fucking up not doing it?
no,
One
man,
of us
it's
doesn't
not-
have as much money as the other two.
it's not for everyone, dude. It takes a certain type of person to just sit there and focus on something all day
Yeah.
to solve a problem. I mean, sometimes you get it quick, sometimes it takes a week of just like working on one problem, and depending on your personality type, like that could be really draining for you, where you're like, I can't just fucking sit there and do this all day, one thing. And I know a lot of people like that, and there's nothing wrong with that, man.
I haven't tried programming for real, except like I took a basic, whatever the intro computer science class was
Yeah.
at UTSA, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. But the way you're selling it there, it's like, dude, that's so me. I just want to, dude, that's that because I like,
Can you sit and stand in one place for
that's
long
how
periods
I
of
made
time?
so much shit though. Like, it's because I would just sit there in Adobe, or I would just sit there in Ableton, you know, like back before Adobe, you know.
There are a lot of musicians that end up programming and things like that, because I feel like there's some overlap between, from what I've seen, like this is all anecdotal, just my own experiences, but plenty of people that are disciplined and can sit and practice all day. They already have the thing they need
Yeah.
to also excel or do well in a lot of those other skills. It just really depends what you're into. And I don't know, to me, I get excited just thinking about like all the way down to the bits and electricity in the computer, and how like, wow, somebody way back when figured out how to manipulate this and built on it for all these years, to the point where, you know, now people are like, can you make me an app? It's like, sure.
When you gonna make the MikeP app?
What would the MikeP app be?
I don't know. It would be the ability to somehow get all the music that you've deleted.
I was going to say something like this. Like it's
Like the MikeP app, what it does is it automatically saves anytime you make a song, because it knows that you will delete it. So it puts it in Amazon somewhere
There you
in
go.
one of those campuses.
You got that kind of though, right? With like Dropbox and
Yeah.
Google Drive and stuff like that.
No, but the app
Just save it to your Google
always
Drive
controls
folder.
it. Yeah, but you won't. The app does it because you
Oh,
won't.
so I'm not allowed to access the things that are backed up. Gotcha.
That way, yeah. And it's undeletable to the user. That way Mike can't clean it up. The MikeP app.
That sounds scary, kinda.
That way you have to
No,
face.
that actually sounds like a pretty brilliant idea, you know, not just for Mike over here who
Yeah,
deletes
yeah.
all his music. You know, it's like
Well,
we all
when it gets to marketing, they'll rebrand it, you know?
we all regularly delete things, and I'm sure once a year we deleted something that we're like, oh no, like, why did I delete that?
Yeah.
I did that earlier today.
Mm.
Have it be the middleman between the OS and the deletion, that it automatically just sends it to, you know, the cloud.
So it sounds like now you guys are just talking about backup services.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all it is.
But what Abe was saying is like, it's a backup service, but you're not allowed to access your own backups.
We can change it.
You know,
we'll talk
hey
about
man,
it.
this was R&D right now, right? You know, there's plenty of room to tinker. You know?
It's like, all right, turn off the cameras. Let's go talk about this.
But
Yeah, man. I don't know. Programming's great. It's not for everyone. Like almost any other skill, it takes time and actually learning how to do it. You don't need to go to college and do all the schooling and things to learn it. There are plenty of people.
R.I.P. college. Let's go.
There are plenty of people I've met that are really talented, really bright people that just, you know, taught themselves how to program. And really the only struggle they have from going that route is because of our country and how much weight we put on that piece of paper, you know? You might have to start at a lower rung, like really low entry or whatever, but I'm working with them, like they all moved up eventually.
Yeah. Once they show and prove.
Exactly. Once they're there and they finally get their foot in the door and prove that they know what they're doing, then it doesn't matter. No one cares like what school you went to or things like that. That's one thing I've learned a bit more. Like maybe in the beginning when everyone's fresh out of college, like, oh, what university did you go to? But then after a couple of years of working, no one gives a shit about that.
Yeah.
It's just like, what have you worked on?
What have you done for me lately? Yeah. How do you come across to the programming life?
Honestly, I didn't start programming until my first year of college. Thought about doing music, going to university for music, but I understood looking at the programs that if I wanted, you know, I'm mostly a guitar player, that if I wanted to do music at UT or UNT, good music schools, that I would have to follow this rigid curriculum playing music that I didn't particularly
Enjoy.
wanted to spend $20K a year or however much money to fucking learn those pieces. You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, my parents thankfully were helping me out. I'm like, I'm not gonna let, like, yeah. I was like, no, it's fine. But I've always been into math and science. So I started off with electrical engineering, then halfway switched to computer engineering. And yeah, I mean, besides software, I do hardware, CAD design. So it's great, man. I mean, having the tools to build whatever the hell you can think of, literally. And the things that are available today are cheap, accessible, assuming you have a computer, internet connection. You know, it's great.
When I hear that's what like makes me think like I'm fucking up not programming. What you just said about like having the ability to create whatever you could think of.
Anything you can dream of, man.
Because I feel like that's always been like I like making shit, and I'm like, well, shit, this is a substantial piece I'm missing. And
You just gotta put in the time to learn it. But once you do, like, the great thing is if it doesn't exist, you can make it. If you happen to be a person who ran into a problem or something that you want to solve, and no one's built a tool or already encountered it or done something in that space, you can be the first.
That just got me thinking. My tools thinking. Are you able to speak on what's going in the garage?
Sure.
What's going on there? I tried to see it, but it was dark. So
So CNC router, bandsaw, thickness planer, router, sanding station, and table saw, dust collector, of course. Just tools that will allow me to go from CAD design into actual real life tangible. Software is great because, you know, there's no really cost. I mean,
You just need
not
the
that-
computer.
Yeah,
man.
you just need a computer, but I also really appreciate being able to hold things and use my hands. You know, that to me is extremely rewarding and satisfying. So I besides doing the software programming, I guess you could say I balance it out with building things. So building instruments, designing new instruments, just I don't know, trying new things. And I guess you could say it's comparable to whatever you're doing, whether it's music or programming. I think it's all related. You know, you have an idea, and you see how and where you can take it with the tools that you have. It's fun, man. I like creating whatever sphere of work or thing that's coming from.
Goes all the way back to the music stuff too. It's mostly about creating. That's the fun part.
What is it in us that makes us have to make stuff, create stuff?
It's satisfying, man. When you even if someone's already thought about it, or it's not that great of an idea, or it's just an exercise for yourself where you're like, hey, I want to figure out how to make this thing. It's cool when you finally understand it well enough to where you can do it too, and you make it. It's much more rewarding when it's a new idea, but even say, I don't know, man, we live in a big world. There's a lot of smart people out there. It's pretty difficult to come up with just entirely new ideas. So once you don't hold yourself to that expectation that you have to be the one or whatever.
You don't gotta be Neo.
You don't gotta be Neo. It's just extremely rewarding to make things. And then you also realize by that point, sometimes you can learn how to do it better.
Surpass the one. Are you gonna speak
do
on
you
that?
Pass.
Pass the Dutchie upon the left-hand side. All right, Mike. As you enter your year of free agency, where are you thinking of taking your talents?
Enter my what?
Your year. That was a sports reference that you won't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I went to a hockey game.
there you go.
Well, I've been living in DC. I went out to one of those. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
If by free agency you mean trying to figure out if I'm going to stay out in Virginia, is that what you mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like it just really depends on the work.
He's gonna come to Austin.
He's coming.
I almost got him 100% persuaded to come here.
You working on it? You chipping it?
Yeah.
Long-term
Yeah, he'll
plans?
come.
The work's been really, really rewarding and enjoyable. I've met great people. I've been learning a lot. So it'll take something pretty substantial, I guess, to attract me down here. But I think I'm just running into that. No, you don't? No, man, it's I've made some friends up there. It's great, and I like the people I'm meeting, but there's always that piece of myself that like misses home. If that makes sense. Misses Texas. Yeah.
Every time I hear that from someone, I always feel like, man, like, what is my home? You know, like
I'd say Texas, man.
I haven't lived here more than New York.
Doesn't matter
Doesn't
where
matter.
you've lived. It's where you've made the most connections.
Do you mean like people, or because I was gonna
I mean
say
people.
this is where I became me.
There you go.
So I would say that
That's
more
it.
than even the connection. Like I became me here. Like
Well, I would argue people help you become you.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm not saying fuck this. I'm just saying like more than like I
You're
guess
not like
that's
a
how I
caterpillar
interpreted
that,
it.
like,
Yeah.
Hid in your room.
maybe
and
I
made a
was.
cocoon, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're like, I'm me now.
I don't know. I feel like we as creators, we do a lot of this room stuff though.
We do. I actually have chatted
Yeah,
about
that
that with a few people. I've been
Flying
down
thing
here.
here.
It's outside.
Yeah.
It's
If they can even see it.
it's difficult to have relationships with people who constantly want to be doing things together or be out and stuff when you're in these types of fields, because unless you just completely, anytime you're not at work or anytime outside of that, you decide I'm going to give up this free time to explore new places and these puzzles or things that I enjoy
Yeah.
to satisfy a relationship, that's great, and nothing wrong with that. That's how it should be, honestly. If you're in a relationship, you should be
The
with
compromise.
the compromise. I am not like that. I am very selfish with my time, and I forgot where I was going with that, but I don't know, man.
I think I'm heading towards that, like a pap version of that again, as I prepare to do the 1 track a week and continue podcasting.
Gotcha. Oh, that's what it was. The staying inside part.
Yeah.
Most of these like creative processes and things like that, it's not like I go stand on a mountain with an easel painting the valley below me or something like that. It's like, no, I'm just sitting in my room messing with some music or reading for the most part. I guess I could go read at a coffee shop or something like that, but that's kind of distracting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I do it. Granted, I do audiobooks, but yeah, right now I do it alone. Especially since I do the speed, like I told you.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I feel like I'm preparing to enter another phase of hibernation or reclusing myself from society for a minute. Not like all of it, but I'm gonna live by a certain day structure for sleep and stuff. So that's gonna take me out of some late night stuff. And I feel like I'm really gonna do it this time versus before I would like flake out, because even tonight for the movie tonight, I'm paying for 2 people to come. I don't got money like that, but I'm like, I don't know when's the next time I'm doing one of these. So I'm like, you should come. So I'm like, but yeah, no, I don't know. It just has to be done. It just has to be done to make the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's all time, really. At the end of it, like they, I don't know if it's true or not, but have you heard the whole thing with like Liszt, the pianist or whatever, how he just kind of disappeared for, I think they said 2 years, where he just didn't play any shows, wasn't touring, did nothing or whatever whatever touring was back then.
Yeah.
But that he was just gone, and then came back and was like amazing. Had pretty much spent 2 years just honing
going
his
hard.
skills. Yeah.
Another friend, he joked on my podcast, I think, or to me at some point if it's not on a podcast. You know what? I should just disappear one day and then do an album a day. like he'll just stack it all up and then like for 1 year.
Counted him last night. He's at what, 25 albums?
Is that what it is?
25 or 26 albums already for 2000.
Well, I mean, it should be what, 56ish, right? Around there?
Yeah,
56
for each week of the year. If he does that, which will be extremely impressive. I don't know, what week are we on right now?
Who knows? I've never had to count that before.
4 times 7 would be a rough number. 28.
I mean, 25 albums is already more than some of the bands that I like grew up listening to have ever made.
Mm-hmm.
But like, as I've tried to like, and like now I understand, like the journey comes from within, or like the answers are within. But I studied a lot of people, like not just like music, but like, man, how do I quote unquote get to there? Whatever there is for me, even though there is no there, right? But as I looked at that, like if we go back to music, I feel like everybody did, whether it's 300 albums or 300 songs, they just don't release them like he did. So I think that's the only difference.
Probably.
Like he really did. Like a lot of people seem to have done a lot of music and it's just not out there, like.
Did you guys see the Radiohead thing? You didn't see that?
No.
That's a very vague description. Yes, I saw the vague thing that you're talking about.
It was in the news a little bit. I don't know.
I live in a bubble, so
somebody
if it's new,
hacked them and stole a bunch of their music, or I forget the lead singer's name. They stole
Tom York.
Tom York.
Yeah.
They stole a bunch of his like recordings of things all the way from the 90s that were like on his computer.
Wow.
And threatened him.
So that's why you delete everything.
They said, "Hey."
Now I know.
They're just like, "Hey, unless you give me X amount of money or whatever, I'm going to release this to the world." And so in response, they released all of those unfinished or ideas. A lot of this was kind of recordings of their processes. They were making some of these really iconic songs that most of us know today. So that was kind of fascinating to me to just think like, even they do it. It's kind of cool.
So did they release this as like real music? Like
it was
real
Bandcamp.
releases?
Like
it's on Bandcamp?
Yeah, they said instead we're gonna donate like $18 and you can download this like hours and hours and hours of recordings of our unfinished music or ideas or us polishing up and working on songs that made it to the album or didn't. And they're like, we're just gonna donate whatever people used to buy this to whatever charity they picked. I don't remember.
The hackers donated it, or
No,
Radiohead?
Radiohead did,
Okay.
because instead of just saying, "Oh no, please don't release our music,"
They
and having
released
money,
it,
they just
and
released it and were saying, "Hey, we're gonna donate any proceeds from this to whatever charity." And I was like, "That's pretty cool, man." And I was sitting there listening to it the other day, and a lot of them are almost like just them turning on a mic as they were jamming out wherever they were, things like that. And it's just like some hour-long audio
jam session
clips of
thing,
them, working on music, and it's like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
to
cool.
see.
You can see the process that we don't always get to see.
Exactly.
Because they came from a different era, so we didn't. Back then, it was like, how does this magic get created? Versus like newer people, there might be YouTube videos and stuff, you know, of them.
That's true. You were talking about that when you were hanging out with Art or whatever. New car or something.
The car of today, Google and YouTube. I forgot how he phrased it.
It's pretty much you can get anywhere you want to be now, man, as long as you got internet access.
Time and patience and put in the effort, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we were talking about creatives and reclusing themselves to be as good as they need to be. I've often joked, but I do look forward to the day, and I think I've only been writing on freestyle every day too, but I often joked like, look, man, one of these days, to all my producer friends, not so much you because you don't make beats, but you too, you can do it too. But one of these days gonna be so good, you gonna actually want me on tracks. Cause I still remember right now. I remember I rapped on Tomas's. I did one song with my trumpet player Matt, and I was like, this is a rap, and I rapped, and it wasn't it's like one of my first times doing it because it's just me and him making music for fun. Still haven't put that song out. It's coming out because I'm gonna put out some a week. Like everything's coming out. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I rapped on it. And Tomas heard it. He's like, dude, you should rap on my tracks. And granted, this is me just starting, so I rapped on one of his tracks. And it was real hard, like writing more stuff. I was like, this shit is hard. How do people do this? And then I did it, and he didn't like it. So he put it up because he takes his stuff way too seriously. Plus, it was about me and him. And like commentary and maybe jokes that maybe only me and him would get, which I think is cool. Because even though I want everything out, I'm still kind of doing it for me. You know what I mean? But he, I feel like maybe sometimes he takes it. And he's going to hear this shit too. So he's going to be like, what the fuck, Abe? He hears every episode. So shout out to you for hearing every episode. If you can see my finger, I don't know, because it's fucking dark. But
well, I mean, that goes back to the...
No, real quick. I'm finished
right.
the act idea. I just tangent because I like tangenting. But it wasn't even about the Tomas part. But one of these days, I'm going to be so good. I'm like, you guys going to want me on your tracks. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to show up on your tracks. And I'm going to do the stereotypical rapper thing. I'm going to just show up. I'm going to rap. I'm going to leave. And I don't got to mix it. I don't got to master it. I'm going to be so good. You guys going to want me. And then I could be that guy. I'd be like, man, like, I don't got to do shit. I just show up. I just rap and leave. Because, like, from the outside looking in, I'm not saying rappers don't work hard. I'm just saying, it just look like sometimes they just show up, rap, and leave.
Wait.
They might rap a lot, but I mean, like, still, like, because, like, maybe they might do 10 songs, but it just be looking like big hangout sessions. And I'm like, I want to be that guy, because he looks happy. The mixing engineer, I'm not saying he's not happy, but he looked like he working. like, the rapper, though, he drunk off his ass. I don't drink. That'll probably be a pizza and a milkshake for me. But still, it'll be a lot of pizza and a lot of milkshakes.
That's good.
Anyway, that's my dream. To make stuff without effort, which is the rapper. Again, not saying they don't work. It just,
I was just say, you can make a lot of stuff without effort.
That's not really my dream. I'm just teasing that position in music. That's it.
I don't know much about that world, but that image is pretty funny.
It just looked like big hangout sessions. I'm sorry.
Just come hang out, record, smoke a little bit,
and then leave, leave because they gotta make, dude. Like Tupac was the Nutter Friends before there was such a thing. Like before there wasn't. And that's what I was saying. Like, yo, if Tupac existed right now, Spotify would just die. Like, cause the amount of server space they would need. Cause this guy, like, the fact that he was dropping albums when he's dead, like, I think he got up to like either in the range of 8 to 11 albums, and some of those things are double CD'd. You know what I mean? like, after being dead, dude. Like that's insane.
That reminds me of like I was saying with the Radiohead thing. There's so much music that a lot of these artists make that just will never, unless you were in the room, you're not going to hear it.
But he had, unlike the jam sessions, he had like around 230 songs before he died. Like just
that's what I mean.
Yeah, just
I mean,
that.
It's extremely impressive.
He is crazy because Snoop Dogg often tells the story between him versus like Dre. Cause Dre was the perfectionist, so Dre would be like Radiohead. He just have all this shit private. Dre has albums, dude, that are like in what they call the Dre vault, and because they didn't reach his level of like what he deems to be good, no one's ever heard some of these things. Like people like you mentioned original hip hop. One of the things that came to mind was like Rakim. You know, if you know Rakim. Rakim was signed to Dr. Dre's album a long time ago, and supposedly they made something. And I say supposedly because Dre didn't like it. Like it wasn't like to the so it's never gonna see the light of day unless like he has a sudden change of heart. But Tupac was like, he saw Snoop Dogg one time and he was like, I can't remember what it was, but it's something like, yo, like what the fuck are you doing? Like, okay, he did a take and then he wanted to do another one. He was like, the fuck you mean you want to do another one? Like, no, put on the next beat. I'm doing the next song. And like we doing like 8 songs, then the engineer got this and then we out. So and Snoop Dogg coming from Dre was like, what the fuck? Like this is like the antithesis of that work method. But yeah, Pac in the 90s was just like shitting that shit out. And again, letting like the engineers kind of settle out, yo, like what's the chorus or like what's that? But he was just laying down shit like again and again and again. So I just think he would be prolific as fuck in today's era.
Probably. That was an interesting statement, though, saying letting the engineers figure out what the chorus or verse was. It's like, wait,
I ain't say he did that for every song, but like,
I know.
yeah.
It's like, so some of them were arranged by the...
Probably, yeah. He would probably just drop like verses and shit and like, boom, that's it. And then he would just come back like, oh, you got a good song, and ad-lib the fuck out of it. You know, like, so.
Interesting.
But yeah. Fucking rappers. I take it there. I'm sorry, I do that.
Took it where?
To the rap place.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's the culture, man. That's the culture I come from. So it's such a weird thing because I don't even listen to that music. Like I don't follow it and I used to, but at the same time I feel like me and my friend from New York, we often Phil, the recruiter, he we often say like we probably always gonna see the world through a hip hop lens, because those first 18 years were through that. So it's like I still think like hip hop, and I'm still like every now and then like what's going on here, you know, like I'm a little bit curious. Ooh, I don't like this. You guys are mumbling. I'm gonna step away back. You know, like what's this auto tune? Like I don't know.
You don't have to have a hip hop lens for that. I've done that.
No, but I'm saying like I'ma always check up on it like every couple of months though, just to see like how you doing. You still fucked up, huh? I'm like,
Have you heard that the mumble rap and all that stuff?
Good for you. Good for you. You live the good life. You know?
How many years has it been now since that's been like the trend?
It's probably for longer than I would even say, because it was starting in there, and so by the time I notice it, you know what I mean? Like it's because it becomes a country thing versus just Atlanta and friends are doing it, you know? So it's probably there for a minute. I
think it's just evolved into, it's not so much about rap or anything like that anymore. It's just more about the beat.
Yeah. And honestly, dude, like them coming from not New York or the original ones like LA and stuff, they just saw like hip hop in a different lens than we did, you know? Didn't have to be about the lyrics, fun and whatever other dumb shit they want to talk about. Even though it's not good what they're talking about sometimes, like in terms of the content, I always call Drake the diary rapper. A lot of them are probably being more true to themselves, because like I think Future, he often talks about like popping pills and like doing a lot of not healthy drugs, you know? Now I ain't talking about weed. I'm talking about like
are there healthy drugs?
I don't know, right? I don't know enough about weed, right? But wouldn't some people say like that, you know, has benefits?
CBD.
What?
CBD.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
It's a
healthy
drug.
drug.
I worked
I'd
for
say
that
it's not
for
healthy
3 days.
you,
For 3
but
days, I worked for
it's not gonna
CBD related company.
destroy you as quickly as some of these other things will.
Yeah, yeah.
And probably never would.
But
you
these
know.
are more like, well, I don't know that, because that's not my jam. But like, I assume a lot of like OxyContin, Molly, ecstasy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, not and the drink, the Houston drink, lean and all that. You know.
A lot of stuff's really hard on your body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they kind of are being more true to themselves, in that the music is kind of like them just saying like, yo, this is my life. And in some ways, that's like a more honest portrayal than a lot of the other some things, you know.
Yeah, I see what
like
you're
fake
saying.
gangster rap, you know. Like,
Fake gangster rap.
well, I mean, because if you're not out there like
I
doing it, like, what are we talking about then?
Don't know what any of that is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let us change the subject. Let us it's the natural thing to talk about something. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm always be a part of it. I can naturally go there. I haven't even followed this shit since whoever, but it's like it's kind of embedded.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Just like Street Fighter, you know, same thing. There was some stuff that happened this weekend, but I just pulled open the curtain. I was like, "You still there? Good for you." You know, like,
Played Street Fighter
which one?
once when I was out there in DC. I think it was Turbo 2.
Oh man,
I don't know if that's good or bad. It was just around.
no, that's a popular one. There's a arcade in something with an A, some city in A, but a Super Arcade in Cali still will run a Super Turbo tournament. Or you said Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right?
Mhm.
That one, yeah, that one is so like in the middle. There's a certain group of people who like that, because most people who run Street Fighter 2, they just run the last one that came out, which is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Okay.
So that's when Fei Long and friends joined. If you know any of that, the Cammy and you don't know.
No, man.
What character were you playing then? Please don't say
who was I
Ryu.
was playing? I don't think I was playing Ryu. I was doing. It's a dude with the long arms.
Oh,
Dawson.
Dazim?
Yeah, I was playing him.
Yeah. That's the homie, man.
And then
That's my character in Street Fighter 4 and 5.
since I don't know how to play that well, I was winning because it's pretty easy to hit people that don't
You
know
were
what's going
zoning.
on.
You were zoning. Fighting game terminology here.
And then one of my friends picked what's his name, the sumo wrestler
Honda.
Honda,
E-Honda.
Yeah.
and I just couldn't hit him.
Honda's heavy, man. He's a heavy hitter in that game. Everybody in that game is cheap. That game's amazing. Like, those games are all amazing. They have great sounds and everything. It's probably too much nostalgia in them, but like the music's amazing. The sounds are amazing. Tiger uppercut, like all that dumb shit, you know, like that shit's so good. I don't know. I remember playing Street Fighter 2 on SNES, and I don't know why I wanted to beat it on every difficulty. So once I got to 8-star, which was the highest, I'm going through it, and I just couldn't beat Bison, and I spent hours sitting there,
There you go. Back
Programming,
to it, that
training.
Focus.
and I must have thrown I've never been that dude like later on in life, but I must have thrown my controller so many times, like just out of pure anger. Just like, fuck, dude. I just couldn't figure it out.
I did that, but on the Sega version.
And that was funny, like, it's funny to watch. I think this week, or actually it just finished, there was a GDCC, which is like the speed running for charity.
Yeah.
And it's funny to watch them play fighting games, because they play it like, they play it like speedrunners, which is the antithesis of any fighting player plays. But and they just do it like a 8-star difficulty, so easy and so broken, and I'm like, fuck. It's like Street Fighter beating in like 10 minutes, But
I saw some of those. It's really impressive. I saw that dude that was blindfolded or whatever playing that one.
oh,
Was it Punch Out?
oh, Mike Tyson.
The entire version of games or something? No.
I seen one dude at
Was
the
it
last
Punch-Out?
one.
I don't know. It was on
He
the
did
Wii
both
too.
punch outs. Like, I think he was playing them simultaneously somehow. He's playing them both, and he's doing like some weird like pause screen hacks and stuff. So like he is still playing both of them, but like I don't even know how that even occurs to you. They're like, I need to play both of these games at the same time. Yeah, man, that shit's crazy. Speedrunner is an interesting thing, like, because I don't like playing games again, except fighting games, like, because I'm fighting different people each time, and people react and adapt, and so there is growth, even though we're doing the same thing consistently, But I never really liked playing games or watching movies again and again. So to do that, like again and again and again, and it just to like optimize and just for a time, like that's crazy. I never, even in racing games, I always hated playing time attack. Why do I want to do this? I don't know. Maybe I just hate speed.
I don't know. I've gone back and played some of the things I grew up on, and it's funny how much more difficult they seem to me now as an adult. When I was a kid, they didn't seem that bad.
So it's funny. I would like to play RPG because RPG is one of my favorite games. This is Rob. That's the only reason I'm answering.
No problem.
I want to play Final Fantasy. Probably all of them. Again, because now
just Final Fantasy. That's
just all of
number.
Well, because I was picking one. I actually watched somebody play most of 10, so 10 is probably my favorite. But because I watched them, I'm like, okay, I understood that. Like, I got the story. The main reason I want to play them all again is just because those are story games.
Yeah.
I don't need the 100 the game, but those are story games. And the story going on in 10, I was like, I did not get any of this as a kid. Like, the way I understood it now as an adult versus whatever, I think I was just like, this guy's good. And he wants to fight the bad guys, and this game is fun. And, like, simple logic,
Isn't that the premise of most of their games, though?
Yeah. But, I mean, all the actual nitty-gritty details and shit, I was like, who the fuck knew that, spoilers, but, like, Titus is a dream from blah, 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 and all this shit. And I'm like, and this is why he disappears and blah. And, like, I'm like, oh, this is fucked up. This is fucked up. This is, like,
see that.
Like, versus, like...
The RPG telenovela.
Yes. Yeah. Like 7, 8, and 9, man. Like I don't know what those are about except like basic construction, But like when you get into the nitty gritty, I'm like, yo, I didn't get none of this as a kid.
You should replay. I don't remember the actual version it was released as, but in America it was 6. Do you remember that one?
I never played that one.
It's like it was the one. I mean, I think
can
they called it
Rob
6 'cause
come
it
through?
right before 7.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's his real name?
Oh, is that who we're talking about?
That's Falcon Fuck. Falcon Fucker is Rob. Yeah. But yeah, man. But no, Falcon. He's awesome. Like, and like when I watch some of those, he only has 3 high quality videos up on YouTube. 2 of them are from me, and I never. He did all this in Houston, and I lived in San Antonio. It's just like, what were you guys doing? Like, and that scene was like popping off, and like when I watched the rest of them, which are a lot of like either cell phones or just pure camera recordings, I'm like, fuck, I kind of wish I was there, man, because it just looked like a special moment that's probably just never gonna happen again, because that was his season in life to do that, and that's it. That's it. But I don't know, I just like that shit so much. Everybody makes beats. MikeP was the one of the few people who didn't make beats. He does the 4 to the floor stuff.
Yeah, I actually enjoy.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that stuff
music.
too. I was one of the few people who liked both. But Rob would show up to these same beat things where people playing like energetic music, and he might only play like 4 songs, even though it's an hour set, but they're just long and drawn out and ambient and like build up and a lot of space. Like we joked about space, a lot of space. So it's just like the antithesis of what everybody was doing at the time to show up to like these scenes, like, and do that there versus to I'm gonna go play an orchestral hall and be ambient, like to just show up to these warehouse parties and like, all right, now you're gonna get 10 minutes of no drums. Get ready, like,
Do you think occasionally it's I'm assuming it depends, but maybe people hype stuff up. I'm not saying they did for his. I haven't heard any of his music.
I don't think they did. I think because I just liked it a lot.
Yeah. But do you think some people maybe it's like this is different and gives you a much different lens, I guess,
for
you
me,
might be viewing it through?
I'm probably reading it to. I really get attracted to this is different. I don't know. That is probably one of, and this is jokingly but true. I'm gonna love editing this, by the way, with all this wind. This is the darkest video and wind. This is perfect. Like everything's gonna suck, audio and visual. But
We can move inside.
no. This is part of the grind.
All right.
This is we live how we based off our decisions, and though we can adapt,
That is true.
we sometimes you just gotta learn. You know. This is me learning. You asked me something. I was trying to answer it. I barely remember where I was going, so I don't remember. Oh, okay. Attracted to different. Yeah. Both Myers and him are probably like super different comparatively to the DIY scenes. What everybody else was doing in the DIY scene. Maybe not in the whole world or nothing, but in these scenes.
Yeah,
so I would they would stand out to me tremendously because of that. And then me, I always need to be doing something like that other people aren't doing. You know, like even though of course mad people are podcasting in the world, but there's no one in my space doing it.
Gotcha.
There was no one doing the live boiler room shit, like the concert recording, you know, at that, especially when I started it. Shit, no, the world really wasn't even doing it outside of like someone at a boiler room level, you know. And that's part of the reason why I lose interest. For some reason, if once it becomes a standard, I'm like, this is trash. Do I really want to film you anymore? Everybody can film now, you know. like I don't need to film you no more, you know.
I mean, I can relate because that's one of the things. Where
Don't make it right. I'm just saying that seems to be me, like
no,
a natural
I'm
feeling.
I'm just saying I can relate. I used to tease her like, "I got hipsters, whatever."
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm probably one of the worst.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
those
yeah.
things.
We
So
all
I'm
are.
like,
We all are.
Wait, everyone likes this. I gotta hate it then.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Especially younger version of me is exactly what you said. Like, and it's funny because that's not the reason, but they always seem to correlate. Yeah. Ooh, people like this shit. It's kind of whack. It's kind of whack. It's kind of whack.
Yeah.
One of the few, but things often change. Something always changes. To me, so it is coincidental. Like, oh, there's an audience here now. I don't like this no more. But the thing also happened to change, even if it changed right before the audience. But I'll bring up the Marvel movies, the Marvel Studios movies. Like, I'm gonna see Spider-Man tonight. Those movies, to me, have been one of the few things, if not the only thing in my life that I'm like, and granted, even going back to movie one, Iron Man, you know, it's not like it was underground or nothing, but it definitely wasn't where it is today. But as they've grown and gotten bigger, they got Disney money now, and now the world is like, they view these movies as events. It didn't lose that thing, like, for me. It didn't lose it. Like, to me, they just kept going bigger, harder, better, and crazy. They're like, oh, we got money now? Now famous people gonna play these people now. You know, they just do more at it. You know, you know what? We're making 2 movies, and we're gonna have everybody in it, and it's gonna cost us $1 billion, and we don't care, cause we'll make more. But I mean, but like they didn't lose that thing versus like almost everything else. Like any like artist I could think of, like, all right, here's the album 3. Sold out, you know, or Black Album, Metallica, you know, like the famous. That's the most famous example right there, you know. Like, but to me, like, that's one of the few things I could think of where, like, no matter how commercial those movies are, like, it still has the thing that makes those movies the thing, you know, for that genre, you know.
I think it also just depends what you enjoy.
Yeah. I really like fucking men in tights. You know, like, to stereotype superhero stuff. You know, that seems to be a correlation. You know,
More than women in tights?
not a lot of women superheroes in this Marvel universe. They're coming. They got their own scene in Endgame. They did get their own scene. But you know,
Did you see Captain Marvel?
of course I saw Captain Marvel.
Did you like it?
I took my favorite person in the world, that girl, Alpha. And Danny didn't speak to me for a whole week. So yeah, I suffered for Captain Marvel. I lost a friend for a week.
Was that actually because of the movie?
No, because instead of going with him, I went with her.
Gotcha.
And then he didn't talk to me for now 10 days. He just talked to me. So I'm paying for his 1 or 2 tickets. I'm paying for tonight. I'm paying for that guy's ticket tonight. Just because I want the people with me. But he talked to me today for the first time in 9 days. Because I didn't mean for this to be the case, but I may have inadvertently hit on a girl that he had a thing for, and got her number and Instagram right in front of him. You know, like, after I forced him to make the I forced him to make the start of the conversation, and then I was like, "Thank you," and I kind of like, but I told him like, "Dude, that was not my even intention." Like, no, it was not my intention at all. And
Did
so,
you know?
Oh yeah, I knew.
So you knew.
Yeah. But my intention more is like, look, man, I need powerful friends, and I need friends in Austin who are not musicians. No offense to you guys, but you know what I mean. Musicians is not your that's not your main thing anyway. You know what I mean? I think because
How dare you?
Yeah, I just need a network of not musicians. Fuck, man, because I need this. There's gotta be something in Austin that is not music, so I won't be broke all the damn time.
Believe it or not, there's an entire world
there is,
beyond
and
music.
I need that world. I need that world. So today we are cool now, and he says as long as I'm not dating her, it is fine. He's like, because I jokingly said so, because he does like anime. So I was like, yeah. So that's a big plus for me. I don't, but I was like, so in a month if we're dating, is that cool? He's like, no. I was like, all right, just checking. Anyway, Abraham's a scumbag. That's what you just learned.
Dude, no. I mean, that might be a bad friend move. It is a bad friend move.
Which one? Me?
But, I mean, yeah, what you did.
I didn't.
From what it sounds like.
I just try to get her on my podcast. That was
people
it.
are people, man. You don't get dibs. You don't get dibs.
You don't get dibs on people?
Like that's just not a thing. No one owns anybody.
I know, no one, but people take that shit seriously. One of them, my birthday party that never happened. It was supposed to have, and if you guys want to say shit, you can. But I have the power. That's why I said when people were like, "What are we gonna talk about?" Like, don't worry, I will talk. Because this is what's happening right now. So if you guys like, look, man, let's talk about AI and how it affects Earth. You can take it there.
I had enough AI chats from the other night.
That party that I was gonna have on my birthday, it was supposed to bring back like people from the past, and there was a reason why I was bringing this up, but I don't remember. Falcon Fucker was gonna supposedly play it, but because he didn't have the MikeP app, right? He doesn't have any of those computers or hard drives anymore, and he didn't like make it a, I guess, priority to save it. So now Falcon Fucker is dead infinitely. Like, and that makes me sad. Inside, no one, the world don't care, but
I can always make more.
He can't. He can. He definitely can.
He can if he wanted.
No, it's not a priority.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's why I said if he wanted.
That version, that version's
It'll
gone.
never be the same.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
So let me ask an important question: bacon or salami?
Bacon.
Fucking bacon, man.
Yeah, easy.
Fuck. That was real hard.
Question is that?
Bacon or
Now,
pizza?
you gotta ask that question to an Italian now,
All right. No Italians here. Well, here, I'm gonna take it to the life question. That way we can start to wrap it up. And then if Rob's here, then we'll just have some party bullshit going on. What is something you believe, and it's for each of you, what is something you believe that people think you're crazy for believing?
I'll let you go first.
You just passed that real quick.
Ask the question one more time.
What is something you believe, you believe it,
Yeah.
but the world thinks you're crazy for believing? Like, yo, Milton's a fucking idiot because he believes blah, blah, blah. Like,
Well, I got lots of ideas, so I'm sure there's several things I can say.
you can just pick one.
Any context of crazy?
Anything. This is your question. You answer it.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Flat Earth.
Yeah, right. There's no way on earth you believe that shit.
Well, this is a simple one. Low-hanging fruit. I'm Mexican, Latin, and I don't eat guacamole.
But real quick, spin the mic towards
You're
you.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten that a lot. But hey,
You're not alone. There's actually some people on my team right now that are like, I don't like
and
guacamole.
it's not so much for the taste or flavor. I think it's more of a texture thing. I don't know.
I can see that. It's
Yeah.
kind of creamy.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm not such a big fan of the creamy foods that are kind of sludgy and
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
I am not Mexican, but I play one when I'm in Texas. And the craziness I get is like, there's a lot of people, and this is white people included because they're in Texas, they love Mexican food or they love Tex-Mex, anything with some type of Mexican in it. And me being Puerto Rican, I don't get it. So anytime that's suggested or we're going to one of these places, I'm like, fuck. You know, like and I'll eat something. Cause I'm like, look, oftentimes I just have them pick, and I'm like, as long as there's a lot of meat, I'm good. But yeah, I've just never I just haven't gotten into this food, man. Like, or like we met at Magnolia. That's my safe cop out food, quesadilla. I just pick quesadilla and like, that's it.
Can't go wrong with
that is
Yeah.
a cop out choice.
That is a cop, but I know when I get it, I'm gonna eat it. Versus sometimes
Sure.
I take a risk and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
now
yeah,
I paid
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of money for this food
True that, man.
that either I'm gonna eat and be unhappy, or I won't eat, which is even worse. You know, like,
It's hard to choose another item at a place where you know that you enjoy the food and you'll eat it all.
and I love taking risks, but I just know, like, more often than not, I just haven't gotten into the Mexican food. So now it's just like, all right, how many times do I fail before I'm like, let me just get the damn quesadilla, you know, like, so
We can't be friends now.
it
Just
happens.
kidding.
It happens. I mean, you'd be the second friend I lose this one.
Over two ridiculous reasons.
Yeah. You got one, Mike?
Something that people think I'm crazy for believing.
Believing or doing or just
Yeah, anything. These are open-ended questions. I'm not trying to narrow them at all.
I mean, I can't really think of anything.
How-
What am
how-
I crazy for doing?
deleting a lot of
For
freaking
deleting all my-
music.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because
no,
you,
no,
just
actually,
because
that
you
is
feel
true.
like it.
Creative endeavors.
That's
On a
factually
whim.
true for me. But you know what? Part of me was gonna think maybe like outside looking in, because the world loves judging people. Like maybe when you became like when you chose programming as your thing, because you had been in school for so long,
Yeah.
and maybe hopped around.
That actually reminds me of that one movie. Which one was it? It's an old, bad 90s movie with
There's a lot of them.
your favorite actor. You hated him, actually. Almost Heroes. What's his name? Chris Farley.
Ah.
Was it Tommy Boy or whatever? He's like, a lot of people go to school for 7 years. He's like, yeah, they're called doctors. It's like, yeah, that wasn't me.
That's funny. Hey man, I was on your team too, and I didn't even hop degrees. I just stayed at UTSA for a long time.
Honestly, I guess that was a little crazy, and I know a lot of people judged me for it, but I am where I am now, and I'm glad I did that because I spent time truly finding something that I wanted to do as opposed to just crunching out some degree that was going to get me a job that I'd be fucking miserable in for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man. The journey is different for us all. And when I talk to you, you seem mad happy versus a lot of other people I know.
Oh, man, I love my job.
Bucks.
You don't like spiders? Just kidding.
I don't think that shit hops from here to here. I don't know. So, but apart from Spider-Man, I don't know what other spiders are doing that. You know, like,
I guess that probably is the craziest thing. A lot of people are like, what the hell are you doing still in school? You should be done with that. And it's like, yes, if I knew immediately what I wanted to do and just went straight in, I should have been done. But I didn't.
sometimes that's sometimes we gotta just try a lot of shit, like to find out. I was in this podcast last night, and currently he's a videographer guy, and I was like, hearing his struggle journey like reminded me of like parts of my struggle journey and like parts of what I'm going through now, and I'm like, all right, like just trying shit out at that, and then I'm also not trying enough shit, maybe, you know, like maybe not trying enough life shit, because I'm like, I've been going after women the wrong way, like
That went from like work and then all of a sudden.
because he played basketball as I guess, I don't know if professional, but like for school, you know what I mean? And so he's trying to make it professional. And when the NBA doesn't work out and injuries, he's like, well, let me try international. And part of the way he tried to get over there, he would meet women online and get to like these countries. And I'm like, I've never thought of that. I need to meet like a Japanese girl online,
That
and like
sounds
boom.
bad. That sounds like you're exploiting.
No, it's horrible. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, he did that, you know, and same thing. And like he would wind up in these countries and like in these situations, and I'm like, over women. And I'm like, I never tried it. I just want to date people because I like them. Like, but I never thought of this other way of like using. And this is horrible because I am saying like it's good, but it's not good. But all I was saying is just he ended up in these wild life situations. I'm like, man, dude, like I didn't try enough.
So
You've traveled a lot, you're
since you're talking
more experienced with
about,
that.
you know,
Yeah,
significant others to some degree.
yeah.
I guess I could come up with another crazy thing that
Do it.
I've been getting pretty frequently to some extent is a 2-year long distance relationship.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna say that. Yeah, because it's not
But,
easy.
Yeah, I get it. I wouldn't call it crazy.
You're a little crazy for it. But
Mm,
But nothing is crazier, man, than when you're in love.
yeah, yeah. You know, you're not wrong.
That shit makes you crazy in a good way.
You do some shit you never thought you
That
would do for
yeah,
other
you'll-
people.
Absolutely.
You do.
And that's the crazy,
Yeah.
the crazy good side.
Yeah.
the opposite of that is the crazy when you stay in a relationship that you know should be over.
Mm.
There you go.
Mm.
There you go. Oof.
Now you get blinded by it.
Man.
Chemical reactions in our body are
Right?
ridiculous.
Right?
Yep.
Alright, this would be somewhat easy. If you were rich in life, how would you live if you were rich, how would you live your life?
Same, but probably in another country.
What country?
I would love to live in Europe for a few years.
But
But
any
honestly,
particular one in Europe?
I'm thinking Portugal right now, but all those countries are so close, man.
You
that
could just
you
hop.
can just.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Texas. I love Austin. Most of my base and friends are here and comforts. So, I mean, I'd definitely be bouncing back
Yeah,
and
yeah.
forth, you know. But yeah, still doing the same thing, building stuff, playing music, probably programming here and there. You know.
I can't think of any major change for myself either. Like, for the most part, I do a lot of the things that I would already be doing. I just have, instead of this 8 hours or whatever that I have during the week where I have to go essentially make money for someone else, I would have that part already taken care of. You know, I don't need anyone else to pay me anymore. So what do you do with that extra time? I would probably, same thing as Milton, I'd already be doing the hobbies that I have currently, probably focus a little more on some of them, but I'm not entirely sure. It's I don't have any romantic ideas of I'll go to this country or I'll go to that one. I haven't explored enough to even know if there's a certain country that I would rather be in. So for the most part, it would be the same, just with a lot more spare time.
Yeah, no,
on your
I think
hands.
like for me, like, yeah, I would just do it at scale. Like, I would just like people I know around the world. Like, I don't know if they in like Italy right now. I'm like, you want to come on my podcast? And it's not a Skype call this time. I'm gonna just go over there, and we're just gonna do that, you know. And I wouldn't have to edit this shit. It'd be great. I'd just be like, yo, Steve, here's some money. Edit this shit so I can do it faster because I don't have to, you know, do any of the post, you know.
I actually was gonna say I think the biggest change would be I'd probably take more risks on little ideas that I have because it's no longer of a, you know, I need to work.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have to work and I already had this funding to just try something, even if more than likely I know it's gonna fail, it's like, well, what if? Might be fun. Probably do more of those things.
Got you.
I know some people are like, well, that's what you should be doing. It's like, I
Yeah,
got
but
bills
it's
to
easier
pay.
said than done. Yeah, it's easier said than done. It took me like 85 years to move out of San Antonio. You know what I mean? So, here's my original question for a lot of me contemplating life. What is your goal in life?
For me, that's like an easy answer because it's not it is tangible, but it's not like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire and own 2 mansions here in Austin and have my own successful business. Like, none of that matters to me.
So just one mansion.
One mansion.
Just one.
The only thing I want is to be free in like the financial sense. To where I don't need to be rich, but just enough to the point where, like, if my sister, she lives here now, I live in Virginia, I want to be comfortable to just say, if I'm missing her or my family, or I want to visit Milton or whoever, just say,
Do it.
just do it. Just leave and go do it, and not have to think like, oh, I'm gonna have to budget this into my, like, that's a
Expense,
affects me,
yeah.
an expense. Yeah, that's it. It's very simple. That's all I want. Well, I mean, I say it's simple, but you know, you still need to make quite
It is
a
simple,
bit.
just to work to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melon's like 3
He's like,
mansions.
I mean, I have an answer, but it's
Is it too personal?
no. I mean, just to be happy.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
All right, so see, so this is one
and
of the
then you can
questions
ask,
I worked
okay,
at.
then what is happiness?
No.
Okay, then.
How does one go about being happy, or how do you go about being happy?
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
a better question.
Yeah.
How do you go about being happy?
Yeah. See, people have told me that shit a lot.
Yeah, so
That's why.
For me, it's the freedom. That's it.
What did you say?
For me, it's the freedom. That's it. That's my
Sure,
happiness.
sure.
That's all
Definitely
I
freedom,
need.
man. I mean, I've traveled all over and just getting a sense of different culture and society and just kind of comparing to how many freedoms we have here. You can't even imagine compared to some of these
You don't
other
get that without that
places.
perspective, that travel perspective.
Yeah, I mean, every place in the world has its own ups and downs, pros, cons, whatever. And yeah, I mean, besides that, having something to do, having something to look forward to, and I don't know, just start from there.
Got you.
You can always find something for yourself to do.
Oh yeah.
And I guess helping others, I mean, that's always gratifying.
Just kidding.
Speaking of that,
Give me Miami.
so this is
I'd like to thank.
Yeah. This is dedicated to Mommy and Papi.
what's
Helping others is a very good feeling.
What's 3 things you thankful for in life?
Friends and family are definitely on the top. My
Yep.
parents putting up with my shit long enough to help me to get to where I am, which I know even there's people who would love to tear you down for things like that. Just like, oh, someone helped you. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dude, we
if
all
you
get
didn't-
help, even if
I'm
we're not
sorry
aware
if you
of
didn't
it.
have the same opportunities, but
Yeah.
I mean, those 2 things and health, man. I'm thankfully not sick.
I would say hot Cheetos, Trump, and
You said hot Cheetos and Trump?
Solid.
I don't know, Sarah Palin.
Oh man, entertainment value from
No, I'm
politics.
kidding.
I was like,
Most
I'm
conservative person in Austin here.
yeah.
Sorry, I got sidetracked by my stupid answers. What was the question again?
3 things you're thankful for in life.
Yeah, I mean, along the lines of
I
he
went with
said.
the like normal ones. Those are just like my top 3, which I feel for most people are pretty.
But besides the typical answers,
Yeah.
of course.
Damn. You said besides that boring shit, Mike. That was the PC way of saying that.
I don't care, man.
I think he's going for the Emmy now. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
You go find your Cheetos and Sarah Palin and
But
Trump.
besides all those things that obviously help us get through in life and
Yeah,
give
yeah.
us opportunities, having the community and tools to kind of, I don't know, work towards a common goal or helping each other to some kind of common goal. And I think the most important thing is tools, whether it's having a computer or pencils, I don't know.
Those stepping stones on the path.
And tools. I mean, I don't want to call y'all tools, but
yeah.
learning from each
Wouldn't
other.
be the first time.
And and that's the nice thing of traveling. I think that's the most rewarding thing. You meet people from different backgrounds, and yeah, man, learning new music, new anything. It's all out there. So I'm thankful that there's such diversity in this world.
I'm thankful for the flashback of New York I'm getting right now. Where you see yourself 3 years in the future?
what was that Mitch Hedberg joke? It's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What was his
I
answer?
can't remember. He was a great comedian, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was funny.
Anyways, 3 years from now.
Hopefully out of debt. I'm on my way. 3 years, I should be out.
That's what's up.
Honestly, man, doing the same thing, hanging out with friends. I don't know. What else can you ask for? Aside from the whole aspiration thing, like, you really don't need those things.
Yeah.
If you take all that away, you have friends, family, hang out, podcast. You know?
President of the United States.
3 years, damn. That's like
My
in the
goal,
odd year, in 2021 or some weird
In the middle of it, the next person
without
that
an
gets gonna be
election, you're
terrible,
gonna
and I'm
make
just
it.
gonna sweep
Yeah,
them.
I mean,
years.
shit, we got 23 people running on the Dem side, right? Why don't you just add another? Like,
No big dreams, man, because a lot of times, you know, when you're younger, people tell you that's what you have to do and that's what you should be aspiring towards. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should have dreams and things you're working towards. But really, at the end of the day, all that really matters is the stuff you're talking about. It's like your community, your friends, the people that are around you that enrich your life. And hopefully you enrich theirs and aren't some kind of leech just draining people.
you looked
but
at me when you said that.
That's it, man. That's what's important. You know, I stopped here to hang out with one of my good friends, and he's kind enough to let me crash on his couch while I'm in town. And my sister lives here now, so I get to see her too.
That's why he's gonna move here
You?
soon.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know. I noticed I was third on that, but you're ahead of the sister. Like this totem is all kinds.
I wasn't thinking in any particular
Yeah, I
order.
know.
But yeah, man, like that's the biggest thing I miss about being down here is mostly the connections that I already had here. Virginia's gorgeous, man. It's beautiful. I'm sorry. I love Texas, but I'm sorry. It's definitely it's prettier.
Is it really?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
The place I'm at is beautiful. I've been out in the Appalachian Mountains out there and stuff during the fall and things like that. It's gorgeous.
But
Yeah,
you gotta give
outdoors,
Austin
Mike.
credit for being kind of an arid
Austin's
kind
great
of.
too. Austin is great too. I'm not saying it's ugly. It's just, I don't know, man. There are prettier places.
I believe you.
I know it. I know it.
It's a great place too, though.
Yeah.
And I miss it a lot, and I miss the people here and things like that. So I'm not attached to the land over there, probably because I didn't grow up there. And I've made a few friends and connections there, but not like a lifetime connection.
Yeah.
Like, how long have we known each other now?
17, 18, 19 years. I don't know.
More than half our lives
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah. It is funny, and one of the rare nice things I'll ever say about San Antonio. Because it's been, especially in the early days of this podcast, there was a lot of me hating, with that artist mindset. But yeah, like, especially when I got my 30-day notice to move, like, a part of me just thought about moving back. But like you were just saying, like, I didn't really realize like what I had there until I like left, And I'm like, yo, this is probably only a circle of like 4 or 5 friends. Like, well, because once I left, that shit dropped real quick, like of people like who still kept talking to me. But it's a good circle of like 4 or 5 friends. And then my mom and sister are there, and like I was like, what else do I really need? Like
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you are super successful artist with millions and millions of dollars or whatever, to me it seems like it'd be pretty shallow if you're essentially paying to have friends or just people who want to know you because of what you do.
Yeah.
Versus like, regardless if you have that or you're the low you could be, man, there's the people that love you. That's all that matters. And I know that's cliche as fuck, but
I got you.
it's true. That's why people say it. That's why it's a cliche.
Yeah. What is the perfect day?
That's different for everyone. I'm trying to think about my perfect day.
Yeah.
If you know already, go for it.
Perfect day is a day with my lady.
That makes sense too, given how you said the long distance too.
perfect day. Man, I'm so boring compared to some people's like, I'm gonna like climb something, do something crazy. For me, it's just like,
Writing a Java program.
for me, it would be just company, man, whether it's brunch or lunch with someone.
Yeah, man, that
like with some cool people, hang out, have a good conversation, good food.
that barbecue
That's
that,
awesome.
that I had
Yeah,
2 days
yeah.
ago, that was the perfect day, man. Just
Yeah.
seeing old friends,
Yeah, no, it was
just
cool. I
different mix
met
of
some
people.
brand new people.
Yeah, man.
I got to meet
Solid.
your sister in person. You know, I met her in person, but the first time I met her in person, I didn't talk. So the first time I actually talked to her,
You talked a lot.
yeah.
actually.
No. But the first time, the first time I meet her is at your place. I thought it was you and Ashley's.
No, we were walking. The first time you met her, we were walking out of UTSA, man, in the parking lot.
This I don't even remember. Tell me this. This is crazy. Tell me about my life. Tell me about my life. This because I feel like I often have a really good memory, so I remember shit and people don't. I don't remember this at all.
This was like super early.
Yeah.
From the time we were down there, around the time you and me first started hanging out and
Yeah.
doing the music stuff in the what was the teacher's name? His lab.
Seaball.
Seabald.
Yeah.
You must have been high on milkshakes or something.
I wouldn't put that past you.
Yeah, man. It was just a random day. We were walking back to our car. You and me had been chatting already, and as we're going out, you combined me and my sister getting off of the bus that used to take you.
Oh yeah. Those parking lot buses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the bus. Maybe we were parked in the parking lot. That's a thing that might have happened. I'd have to ask her. Maybe she would remember that day. It was either the bus or walking out to the parking lot. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
To like the music building,
Yeah.
and engineering buildings,
I
and all
think it was
that.
like 12 or some bullshit.
Yeah.
That hill though.
But yeah, man, we
Yeah.
were just walking there, and then I was like, "Oh, hey, this is my friend Abe or whatever." I have no idea what you guys talked about. I just remember
We talked a lot.
You were talking.
This is
like,
amazing.
Within a short amount of time, you said a lot of words.
That probably, but I mean,
was he rap mumbling or?
No, no mumbling.
maybe.
It was just more of a hello, how you do, than a lot of other stuff.
Probably said something about anime, you know? Is it? Like,
That was it.
all right.
There's
So
nothing
shit.
special.
That ruins the whole origin. I like this weird thing of like where I met her at your place, but didn't really talk to her. But now I talk to her on Discord. It just feels like some weird like, you know, now technology way of meeting people, you know? But and then like, oh shit, you're a real person. Like, no.
Also, keep in mind though, that was about 9 years ago now.
The one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember that at all. And the one I'm talking about where it's like a high and by. I think you were having a party that day, and I think she might have been going out with her boyfriend or something.
Mhm.
So I think it was just like this or some shit.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
bacon.
That's life, right?
I thought that was the perfect day question, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. This is the last one.
Also, I agree completely. Those are like my favorite days from what I can remember when I was in San Antonio, is when friends would come over and we'd grill and we'd just talk and
Oh, yeah,
laugh
those were
and
day
eat
hangouts.
food. Those
yeah,
are,
man. Those
great.
are, as we get older, more and more
Rare?
unfortunately. So it's like back when we were young, it was almost like every day, you know?
Yeah. We didn't have any responsibilities. Now,
Yeah.
a bunch of my friends are having children and starting their families and things like that. And I'm happy for them, but that definitely, you know, you can't just call them and be like, want to come over this weekend?
Yeah.
Hang out. I mean, you can, but they have
I
other
do know one of my
responsibilities and
friends here. He's in
priorities.
Pflugerville, and we have like the second we have the two connection. Yeah, we're friends, but we're also Puerto Rican, which is rare for me down here, you know. But yeah, he has family and a lot of kids, you know. And like I'll hit him up, but you know, you gotta be in certain hours, certain time frame, and you know, and yeah, oftentimes I hang out there and I feel weird because I'm the single one, and all the other friends also have families or at least a committed relationship, you know. And I'm
a
like,
very
sometimes
different
it's weird.
dynamic.
Like I do like hanging, and I do even like the vibe I get. It's just it's so different than every other hang I do because everybody's like just getting drunk or something. But at the same time, I'm like, I sometimes feel like, man, like what am I doing here? Man, I don't belong here.
I honestly kind of like it because
Yeah.
even though I might be single and they're not, and I just go out there and it's like, I don't have to worry about anything. Like this is just straight meeting people that are
yeah.
already comfortable in their relationships or things like that.
Big boy hangouts.
If I talk to someone who's a young lady or things like that, I don't creep them out or anything because they know more than likely it's just we're all hanging out, just a friendly thing.
I'm not trying to date you. How about that? How about that? What is the final one? This is the final question. What is the question?
What is the meaning of life?
Nah.
No.
What is the question that I should have asked you,
or whatever,
but I didn't?
What?
What's the question I should have asked you, but I didn't?
I don't know.
This is kind of like a cheat way of saying
cake or pie?
Yeah, cake or pie.
Cake or death.
Oh fuck.
Eddie, is it? No.
Are you saying that pie? Nah, I don't follow him. Sorry.
I would say cake.
Very well. Give him cake.
Are you asking us to ask the final question?
Essentially, yeah. That's the convoluted way of saying.
Question?
Yeah. What is the question I should have asked you, but didn't? But essentially,
yeah. So that is the question.
Yeah,
You're not just holding out because you actually have the final question.
No, he was saying what should we have asked, which is like
okay, got it.
Why did I do my job poorly? That's what I'm asking.
What advice would you have for the young version of you?
All right, what advice would you have for the young version of you?
Nothing good.
Nothing good? That's the thing.
That seems like an easy one.
Yeah, it is an easy one, but if that's what you want to use, that's what you want to use.
How about
It's only easy in its concept, but in reality, how would you literally, if you had to talk to yourself?
That's a convoluted way of saying what would you have done differently when you were younger.
No, not even, because you might like where you are. Maybe you don't want it to change.
That's true.
So, like, what do you do? You have to have the conversation, but what do you tell him so nothing changes?
That's way more difficult.
Yeah.
Young Mike wouldn't fucking listen to even you. Older you.
That's very true.
Oh, shit.
Young Mike was an idiot.
What if you're meeting young Mike, right? And he can't even tell us you because you're meeting young Mike at one of Maylee's Bandera house parties, right? You know?
Oh.
So, like, how does that interaction go?
Well, probably turn into a drinking competition. Just kidding.
Can you outdrink young Mike?
No, hell no.
Out argue or out debate.
I mean, I don't know, man. At that time, I was super, super stubborn with like everything and just refused to listen to reason occasionally. And I would convince myself of the way I wanted it to be instead of letting it sink in that things should change or end or stuff like that. So I don't know. That'd probably be the biggest thing. Like, don't waste your time. Just fucking
and there's
cut
no
your
way,
losses and move on.
There's no way he, and even me too, I'm thinking, would even understand or how to even interpret that, you know?
I'm not going to tell myself you better do better in school and make sure you do everything right. It's like, man, just learn to cut your losses a little earlier.
I'm sure we've all gotten all that advice and then some by so many people.
We have to learn it in our own way.
True.
Exactly.
But now it's coming from my future self.
I know.
Just kidding.
That's some fucked up shit.
We have gotten that a little bit.
But then the crazy thing would be if you were to do that, then you definitely wouldn't have ended up with what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yep.
Like, it's almost like everything that you did contributed to some extent to
this made us
this moment right here.
Yep.
That's why, like, even though sometimes I feel like I'm drowning right now, like, yo, what the fuck am I doing in Austin? I don't know why I'm here, losing money all the time. And then at the same time, I'm like, pretty sure this is just gonna make me who I am, even if I end up homeless. But I mean, like, in the long run, it'll still work out just fine, you know? I mean, that's what I feel anyway.
It's like that one story, right? I don't remember if it's a biblical thing or just a story or whatever, but the whole gist, I'm going to try and shorten it as much as I can remember. It's just like some dude does so many different things throughout his entire life, and everyone tells him he's like, no, you can't do this, you're not good enough for this or whatever, throughout his entire life. And then he ends up being like some king's advisor or something in his older age because he had his hands in so many things, that he had experienced so much of the world that he was very wise, essentially. I don't know.
The perspective of all perspectives.
Yeah, but So, I mean, maybe, man, there's something to be said for people who just keep going and trying different things, even though people around them are saying, like, you should stop that. Just fucking, you know, I don't know, go make money.
I get that a lot. I get that.
I know. And sometimes I feel like I lean towards telling that to people occasionally.
And it's not bad advice. We were having some of this discussing the other. It's not wrong.
But I mean, it's not about just doing that. It's more what you want. Like if you're going insane and you're about to lose it, like maybe make a life change. But
that's how you quit a job in 3 days.
All about,
like
if you're all about the struggle and the grind and that's what you want to do, man, then more power to you. But if it's hurting you and you're close to like wanting to hurt yourself or anything, then get the hell out.
Never been. Don't do that. I don't do it. The hurt of myself comes more from addictions more than like I can't wait to kill myself or something horrible, you know, like. Yeah. But yeah,
that's all I have to say about that, man. More power to you if you can go through it.
Do you have answer to that question? The initial one. What is your question?
What is my question?
Yeah.
Question? Probably be some.
Well, what should I have
roundabout question? I don't know. Well, let me think about that a little bit more.
How much wood could a woodchuck? Just kidding. It's tough, right?
Oh yeah.
See, like the way I had an answer for the happiness thing, when you said happy, I still haven't thought of the quick counter for this, but I know there is one. I'm gonna find it. When people say, "Oh no, there's something there," I just haven't dissected it enough.
Happiness is a little different for people too, but the majority.
No, well,
of
I just meant when they give me this easy answer, I still have a way to get an answer out of them. I don't have the counter yet to get an answer out when people don't have an answer to this yet. Working on it though.
It's like that's probably the biggest thing that every single one of us has in common is we all want to feel like we're a part of something or connected with people.
This is facts. I struggle with that a lot. There are
people who don't do that, and usually they call them sociopaths.
Oh shit!
I guess the question you could ask is, what's the thing that scares you the most?
What scares you the most?
You're like, I was just asking. I didn't want to answer it.
I mean, the first thing that pops into my head wouldn't be the first answer, but
yeah. It doesn't sound scary from the way you laugh.
No, I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny at all, but I'm just not going to say it. This shouldn't be on air.
All right, that's fine.
What scares me the most?
The ocean. Just kidding.
You know what? That is part of it, man. I'll tell you what.
I can't swim, so I'm there with
you. Since I was a kid, I've had many life-threatening, events that have happened in the ocean, like near-death experiences. Also go swim in the ocean and whatnot, but kind of paranoid when it comes to like doing deep-sea things. Like I don't think I could scuba dive as much as I would love to.
Damn.
I don't know. Interesting.
All right.
And the other interesting thing is just like, you know when you either meet someone or you're going through something and so many different things align in weird ways, whether it's time or having certain,
interests,
qualities, interests. Yeah. So one thing that I'm thinking of talking about these near-death experiences is, my significant other, she doesn't know how to swim. It's like, okay, perfect. It's like, I won't die in the water anytime soon. Nah, but what scares me?
I mean, you could use that as your answer. That's fine.
Yeah. Guess I'll just stop there.
Right.
I could go on and on.
If you want...
Getting sick and not having health insurance.
Oh, that's me. I went to the ER 2 months ago.
I think what scares me is that... Yeah, man, it sounds so arrogant. Like, just in my head, it's like, there are a lot of things I'm interested in, and I tend to be good at a lot of things. I'm fucking lucky, whatever, or things like that. But
the thing you're not good at
is picking one thing. to just do or master. So
Well, you want to be
kinda
the wise
scary.
man,
I don't
right?
want. It's scary for me to think that at the end of my life, I might have spent so much time trying to do so many different things that I don't know. I never really excelled at any one of them.
Yeah, jack of all trades, but that would make you like the wise man, like you just said, right?
I know, but
You would have all these experiences that most people might not have because they only chose one thing.
yeah, I guess, and there's merit in that as well. But
Yeah.
like part of me also is thinking, you asked what we would do if we didn't have to work or things like that.
Yeah.
And part of me actually thinks, get out of debt, save up enough to where I'll probably be all right or can do something. And I've even thought about like, well, maybe I'll just go back to school like in my 50s or something and go into some PhD field where I literally am just like trying to push some research somewhere. Because to me, that would be like a really great challenge and something I would like to pursue a little bit.
Learning and giving back.
But I don't know. That's just like, like very distant little thing. Like what am I gonna do when I'm around that age?
And whatever you think of now, more than likely, unless it's some focused hardcore goal, so many experiences will happen between then that will just change you. You know, like,
Completely not be thinking about that at all by then. I mean, maybe the world's gonna be on fire in the next 10 years because we're destroying it. So
there's that too. We might not even make it there. But
yeah.
if you want people to follow you on anywhere, which I know you don't,
I don't care.
I guess now would be the time to say those things if you have some type of site or whatever.
Follow me and stuff. and
Should I post your
things.
SoundCloud that you keep mostly private? And don't post it?
No.
Nope. All right. Can't even hear his music. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Don't worry. He's going to delete it anyway. He's gonna
It's gonna be a yearly thing now where I just cleanse.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Bam. Just you're right. It's new.
Deleting an album a week instead of making an album a week.
That's old man Mike. Cause he's like refined his producing skills that he just makes them that quick.
It's been a lot now, man. I was looking at, I haven't even uploaded all of them, but on my SoundCloud now I have 46
Yeah, man.
new
YouTube.
tracks.
And I've
I
also
only
to put these
started in
things out
December.
on my quote unquote label and everything. He just
It's not my goal, man.
I didn't say you're gonna make money. I just said I just like having it out there. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I wish.
He's the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, I get it. But like a part of me wish, like, man, even though I do like these artistic things, like I don't believe I've had the goal of wanting to make it, because I feel like if I wanted to make it, I would have done some different choices in these creative outlets. And I'm like, some of these things I do, these are not money making endeavors, but I do, for whatever reason, want them out there for at least whatever that might be. Like I don't know, I just want it out there.
Me spamming you all is enough.
I get it.
For me.
Well, what about you? Do you got any place you want people to follow? Any of your things that you do?
I'm not really on social media, so
Even
I prefer I can't say the word. Anonymity. Anonymity?
Yeah.
Anonymity. I'm having a hard time saying
even
that.
for
Anemones.
the stuff you're doing.
Sorry.
Even the stuff you're doing in the garage. It doesn't have like a thing.
So for that, I'm gonna start a new LLC and just create a website and.
But
try
that's
to put
not
it
there
out
yet.
there. It's not there yet.
Okay.
I'll probably have another Instagram account for that. But right now, I have one. It's public, even though it should be private, but it's more of my private account with friends. I
Okay.
should be sharing stuff. Trying to make a habit of sharing more things, since that's a great way to reach people. And, it's easy. I'm just kind of lazy and
Got you.
living in the 90s to some extent.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Love it. Love
It
it.
was fun times. All right, last words.
Bacon.
Bacon.
All right, bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh. We out.